You said you needed a challenge video. I suppose the simplest and probably the most difficult challenge I can give you right now is to not lose hope. I actually did record a video for you. It's just a couple minutes long. I recorded it on the 9th, the very morning of the 9th. I got up to get ready for work. I was on my way to school that day, and the very next day was Veterans Day, the Veterans Day Assembly at my middle school where I teach. You started by talking about the reasonable side of things. I'm going to take the opposite direction. I'm going to start by showing the emotions that I was feeling that very morning. Here's the original video that I recorded for you several days ago.
Chris, I'm taking a couple of minutes before work to make this video. I was just reading a bunch of the election results, and I was trying to watch the Stephen Colbert ending to his live election night coverage, and I realized while he was attempting to make jokes that I can't find any humor in this situation. I can't believe Trump was actually elected. I can't believe he made it to the nominee. I joined the Army under a Republican president. I went to war under a Republican. And while I don't like Bush as a president, while I made fun of his intelligence and questioned his decisions, he was never a joke, and I never questioned his morality. Bush was a fry cook who kept burning shit. Trying, but just fucking it up. Trump is a fry cook who's likely to spit in your food because you look funny. And I'm not going to let him ruin. I'm not going to let him ruin my country.
I wasn't joking. I'm not going to let him ruin my country. Friday was Veterans Day. When I joined the military, I swore to protect this country from threats, both foreign and domestic. And I was going to try and make light of the situation because I have already been through the gambit of despair and fear. But after watching your newest video, I can't simply make a joke out of it. I am worried. I am scared that Trump has been elected. I cannot believe that Trump has been elected. CGP Grey made an excellent video talking about the problems with the Electoral College, and he made it 6 months, a year ago. I can't remember exactly when it first came out. But it talked about how 4 times in history the popular vote has gone to the loser of the presidential election, and that's a 5% failure rate. And he made a correction to that video where now that the loser of the election has gotten the most votes, it's a 7% failure rate. And you're right, Hillary Clinton was a flawed candidate, but she was a politician, and I wanted somebody in office who knew how the system worked and could do stuff. I wanted a few years of basically fuck all happening, because I felt that the Obama administration was extremely divisive, because it was. People were so pissed off at the Obama administration. And I have felt for a long time that their anger was not based in ideological reasons, but it was sociological reasons. The people who have been in charge of our country for so long finally weren't, and it made them afraid. They felt underrepresented, and they felt that they were losing their country, and it is racism and sexism. And you're right. You are a minority, but not a visual minority. I am also a minority as an atheist, but not a visual minority. And it is frightening to think what might happen. I, as a public education and teacher in a blue state, have already had to deal with 14-year-old Trump supporters. And at this age, they're not even aware of what they're saying. They're just parroting their parents. But the fact that there's been so many here in Washington, of all fucking places, Washington, there's a bunch of them. I can't imagine how there are so many. And I understand that the turnouts were ridiculous, that Clinton lost an insane number of voters. And I really feel that if Bernie Sanders had not run, Clinton would have gotten his supporters. She would have had a better turnout, and she would have had more support. And yes, I am drinking now. I've been drinking this evening, actually. I'm already a little drunk. Had Bernie won, I don't know if the election would have turned out different. But the Democratic nominee election was so divisive that by the time it came to the presidential election, the Democratic nominee didn't have the support necessary to defeat this bullshitter. And I use bullshitter in the worst possible sense of that phrase. I read a book. It was just literally a very small book, about that big, that talked about the difference between a liar, a truth teller, and a bullshitter. A liar tells you untruths with the intent to deceive. A bullshitter will tell you the truth or a lie with equal ease for the sole purpose of gaining position. And that is precisely what Trump is. He's already walked back his plans on the wall. It's just magically disappeared from his website. On the same day that I found out that Donald Trump became our president-elect with a minority of the votes, I also found out that my wife is pregnant. We've been to the doctors. We've confirmed this. You have a 3-year-old. And by next June, I will have a baby. It's not even a matter of knowing whether or not they have reproductive rights or not. I don't even know what sex my child is, because she's only about 2 months along, if that. And I am looking at raising my child in a world, in a country heavily influenced by a bullshit artist, and not even a very good one. I understand what happened. The local NPR stations out here have been going over ad nauseum how Trump managed to take office and what Trump is going to be doing in his first bit of time, and the possible negative effects of Trump having taken office. But I cannot help but reiterate, I will not allow him to ruin my country. This is my country. It is your country. Even the people who voted for him, it is their country. And despite everything, I have never given up my oath to defend this country from threats, both foreign and domestic. And I will defend this country. And I hope that you can maintain hope for our future.